Menglong and Xing Fei trapped in Qihao Museum tunnel, the truth about Xi brothers' power over Beijing stars. No one could have imagined what lay beneath the Qihao Museum, the place that once stood as a symbol of history and beauty in Beijing. But when the lights went out that night, everything changed. Rumors began to swirl through the city, whispers of hidden tunnels and voices echoing under the marble floors. And when Menglong and Xing Fei disappeared after attending a private event inside the museum, panic took over every screen in China. Before we dive into the shocking details, make sure to subscribe and turn on all notifications so you never miss another story like this, because what you are about to hear will leave you speechless. It all began on a calm Friday evening, when the stars gathered for what was supposed to be an elite exhibition hosted by the Qihao Foundation. Cameras flashed, laughter echoed, and the crowd was full of China's most powerful celebrities. Menglong arrived quietly, his eyes distant as if he was expecting something unusual. Xing Fei followed shortly after, looking radiant in her silver gown, unaware that this night would mark the beginning of a nightmare. The exhibition was titled Echoes of the Past, a name that would later send chills down the spine of everyone who heard it. At first, it seemed ordinary. But behind the glamorous smiles and soft classical music, there were eyes watching. Several guests claimed they saw men in black suits moving through restricted corridors, communicating through hidden earpieces. One of the security cameras went dark for exactly 23 minutes, and during that time, both Menglong and Xing Fei vanished. When staff went searching, they found an open panel in one of the walls near the east wing of the museum. Inside it was a staircase made of ancient stone, descending into darkness. No one had ever noticed it before. It led to a long, narrow tunnel carved deep under the city. What was most disturbing was the faint sound of whispers coming from below, like echoes of conversations long forgotten. Hours passed before rescue teams arrived, but the deeper they went, the stranger it became. The walls were covered with symbols no one could understand, and there were signs of recent activity. Half-empty water bottles, a phone flashlight still flickering weakly, and footprints that ended suddenly. Rumors quickly spread that the Qihao Museum had been used for years as a private meeting ground for Beijing's elite, a secret society led by a man known only as Xi brother. His influence stretched across the entertainment industry, politics, and business. Anyone who opposed him simply vanished or reappeared with a changed mind and empty eyes. Many believed he controlled entire careers with a single phone call. And now, people whispered that Menglong had uncovered something he was never meant to see. Xing Fei, known for her calm and gentle personality, was reportedly last seen holding her phone tightly as she entered the underground passage with you. Sources claimed she had received a message minutes earlier, a message that read only 3 words, "Don't look back." The following day, the museum was sealed off completely. The press was told it was for renovations, but eyewitnesses said they heard screams beneath the floor the night before. Workers who tried to enter said they felt an unnatural chill, and one claimed to have seen shadows moving even when no one was there. Meanwhile, social media erupted. Fans flooded platforms with the hashtag "Where is Menglong?" Videos circulated of a strange figure near the museum gates just before dawn, a tall man in a long coat with his face hidden. Some believed it was Xi brother himself. Others said it was Yu trying to escape. But the truth remained buried as deeply as the tunnel itself. Days turned into weeks, and the city began to whisper more openly. A few insiders came forward, saying Menglong had been investigating an old scandal linking Xi brother to a secret celebrity control network. Xing Fei was helping him gather evidence. They had found documents hidden in museum archives that revealed shocking connections between the film industry and powerful figures. But before they could go public, they were trapped beneath the museum. When workers finally reopened the Qihao site for restoration, one of them found a single note written on the back of an old ticket. It was smeared with dirt but readable. It said, "The stars are not free." That note was signed with 2 initials, Y and X. Since then, nothing has been the same. Celebrities who were once outspoken have suddenly gone silent. Some cancelled all public appearances, while others disappeared entirely. The entertainment world became quieter, colder, and full of fear. But the question that still haunts everyone is, where are Menglong and Xing Fei now? Were they taken by Shi brothers' network, or did they uncover something so powerful it forced them into hiding? The deeper investigators dig, the clearer it becomes that the Qihao Museum was never just a museum. It was a passage to secrets Beijing was never supposed to see. And every camera that tries to capture the truth seems to stop working near that east wing entrance, as if something is guarding it still. No one expected that the events beneath the Qihao Museum would change everything about the entertainment world. When the lights flickered that night and the echoes of footsteps faded, Menglong and Xing Fei were already far below the surface, standing in a corridor that seemed untouched by time. The air was cold, the silence heavy, and the walls were lined with strange symbols that shimmered faintly whenever their flashlights moved. Neither of them spoke for a long moment. It felt like the ground itself was holding its breath. They followed the tunnel deeper, guided only by the dim light from their phones. At first, it seemed like an ordinary underground passage, but then they found the door. It was large and metallic, with a faint hum that made the air vibrate. Menglong reached for the handle, but the moment his hand touched the surface, the lights in the tunnel flickered again. From somewhere in the darkness, a quiet mechanical sound began to hum. Xing Fei stepped closer, her voice trembling as she asked if they should continue. Menglong nodded, determination flashing in his eyes. The door opened slowly, revealing a vast chamber filled with old documents, screens, and photographs of well-known celebrities pinned along the walls. There were records of casting changes, cancelled projects, and hidden contracts. In the center stood a small table with a single folder marked with the name Shi brother. Xing Fei stepped forward, her fingers brushing against the paper. Inside were pages of names, figures, and coded messages. She read them aloud in disbelief. It wasn't just gossip or rumor, it was a map of influence, detailing who was promoted, who was silenced, and who was destroyed in the name of control. Menglong's voice broke the silence. He whispered that this was why so many actors had suddenly disappeared from the spotlight, why some stars rose overnight while others vanished without a trace. Everything was connected. Every career move, every rumor, every scandal. It all traced back to one shadow, Shi brother. Xing Fei felt a chill crawl down her spine. She looked at Menglong, and for the first time, there was fear in her eyes. They realized that by entering this place, they had crossed a line they could never return from. The sound of footsteps echoed again, this time closer. Someone was coming. Menglong quickly pocketed one of the papers and grabbed Xing Fei's hand. They ran toward the side corridor, the beam of their flashlight bouncing wildly along the damp walls. Behind them, the metallic door slammed shut. They found another staircase, this one narrow and steep. It led upward, but halfway through, they heard a faint whisper from behind, a distorted voice, low and controlled, saying their names. Xing Fei turned and saw a shadow move along the wall. She gasped, pulling Menglong forward. When they finally reached the surface, they were not inside the museum anymore but behind it, in a dimly lit alley. The air was cold, and the city lights shimmered far away. For days, neither of them spoke about what they saw. But the silence between them was louder than any words. Menglong stopped appearing in public events, and Xing Fei cancelled her next drama shoot. Rumors began to spread. Some said they had discovered something they shouldn't have. Others said they were being watched. A few whispered that the folder Menglong took had already reached the hands of someone powerful. Then came the message. It arrived in Xing Fei's email at midnight, no sender, no subject, just a single line. The tunnel was only the beginning. Attached was a photograph of the very chamber they had found, but now the table was empty. The folder was gone. The following morning, Menglong met Xing Fei at a small cafe in the outskirts of Beijing. They sat in silence until you spoke. He told her that he had been followed since that night, that his phone had strange calls with no sound, and that someone had been outside his apartment every evening. Xing Fei's hand trembled as she sipped her coffee. She told him she had received the same photo too. They knew they had to make a choice, stay silent or reveal the truth. But both choices came with a price. That was when Menglong revealed what he had hidden, a single piece of paper he had taken from the folder. It contained a list of names, each followed by a date. At the very bottom of the list were their own names. Their date was marked as next month. Xing Fei froze. The color drained from her face. She asked him what it meant, but he only said that she brother always removed threats quietly, without attention. The realization hit both of them at once. They weren't just witnesses, they were targets. For days after that meeting, neither of them could be reached. Their social media pages went silent, their contacts couldn't find them, and the entertainment news began to spin strange stories about them being on an overseas project. But deep inside, those who had heard about the Qihao Museum tunnel knew something darker had happened. Weeks later, an anonymous video surfaced online. It was blurry, filmed from a distance, showing two figures running through an underground corridor that looked eerily familiar. A voice in the background whispered the same line from the email: the tunnel was only the beginning. Fans went wild. Some said Menglong and Xing Fei had escaped and were exposing everything from hiding. Others believed they had been silenced, and the video was their final message. The industry, however, stayed quiet. No statements, no reports, just silence. And yet, the truth has a way of resurfacing. Months later, another message appeared on an encrypted forum. It was signed with two initials, Y and X. The message read, "If you're reading this, know that we found the second tunnel." It was clear now that the story was far from over. The power beneath Beijing's glamorous surface ran deeper than anyone imagined, and the name Xi brother was only the start of a secret that could change everything. So before you scroll away, take a moment and hit that subscribe button, because the next chapter will take you where even the stars fear to go. The truth is coming, and you won't want to miss it.